Class of 79, another multi-sport athlete, football, basketball, baseball. Defined, again, like I mentioned, what it meant to be a Knight, both on and off the field. Captain of the basketball and baseball team in his senior year, helped the Knights win their first Section 5 football title in '78. Remember those games, man, at Hollander? It was so great. Knight of the Year, McQuaid Sportsmanship Award winner in '79. Also, City of Rochester Stadium Club Student Athlete of the Year. Went on to Canisius College where he was captain and MVP of the football team, All-ECAC, '83, Academic All-American in '82 and '83. Would you expect anything less? One of only 5 NCAA post-grad scholarship winners in '83. He was inducted into the Canisius Hall of Fame in 1994. And I'm proud to welcome him into the 2011 class of the McQuaid Jesuit Athletic Hall of Fame. Here's Tom Schott, everybody.
To the selection committee and the McQuaid faculty and staff, thank you for allowing me to be here today. There's some themes, you'll hear a few more of them, that have run through some of these comments. I watched Mike Doyle play early in his career, saw the very best of Bob Peterson's late '79 teams. Played a little baseball with Mike and Ray, wherever you are. The '75 two-mile relay team was my brother Chuck's class. The '88 hoops team was my brother Steve's class. I'm learning about Bill and Byron here tonight. To be recognized with this group and be a McQuaid Jesuit Hall of Fame member is a source of tremendous pride. And yet, I want to recognize a much larger and maybe a more prestigious fraternity where most of you are already members. So indulge me, if you will, as I open this up a bit. For all of you who ever did or still do have a connection to athletics in high school, whether you're a player or you're a coach or a parent, because as we all participate in whatever capacity, as you've seen tonight, we have the wonderful opportunity to create Hall of Fame life experiences for anyone who plays. There is a poem, which I've always hated, named, see if you know who wrote this, named To an Athlete Dying Young. Very good, Houseman. I get to test him now, and he, of course, gets an A. And this poem, if you haven't heard it, reads more like a sad eulogy to a young runner. And it implies that it's better, or perhaps luckier, to die in live your fame. And it's not that what happens on the playing field isn't a lot of fun, and remembering it like we do tonight or yesterday over a game of golf isn't fun. But it's that it would be a tremendous tragedy to have competed so well at a young age and then not have the rest of your life after your playing days measure up. Because there is so much more that we need to take from this laboratory we call high school sports that outlasts our playing days, such as commitment, taking responsibility for yourself and your actions, the discipline to get better at anything you do, thinking of others before you think of yourself, hard work, mental toughness, the path to rewards, not entitlement. You get knocked down, you get back up. Where else can you combine so many of these lifelong skills into one experience? You know, I heard it once said, if you get good at what makes you good at sports, you'll be a better athlete and you'll be a better person. You win both ways. Now, back in the day, I did not compete for all these reasons. I wasn't old enough, I wasn't wise enough, and I don't feel so bad about that because most high school kids aren't. But all of those right reasons eventually found their way to me, and I believe that's through 2 very special environments, here at McQuaid and at home at Gates. To illustrate, I'm going to give you a couple quick stories. There is this coach who sees a young player blow his blocking assignment. More like forget what he was supposed to do on the play. and then just stand still and watch another opponent run right by him and make the tackle. The defense comes off the field, the coach pulls the guy over, and in a low voice he says, "You forgot what you were supposed to do, didn't you?" Player says yes. Coach then says, "Was the play over?" Player says no. The coach then dispenses this piece of advice. Listen, next time you forget your assignment, just find somebody with a different color helmet and knock them down. Something good might happen for somebody else. Thank you, Tom Seymour, and all of my McQuaid coaches for teaching me the lifelong skill of teamwork. There is this priest who writes a book, and on the cover of this book is a path that splits into almost a perfect fork. And this priest used that book to teach hundreds, maybe thousands of young men that someday you're going to have to make a profound choice. And that choice, if you commit to it, would simplify the most difficult circumstances in your life and would give meaning when you're forced to wonder why. And this priest was a great teacher. Thank you, Father Bill O'Malley, all the McQuaid Jesuits and teachers, for giving me the courage to choose my own path instead of accepting one that was handed to me. There's this classmate who on the day of his high school graduation sees this guy give a speech, collect a couple of awards and his diploma, and after the ceremony, he hunts this guy down in the lobby of this grand theater, tears him out of a bear hug with somebody else, grabs him by the shoulders, looks him straight in both eyes, which is something he never did in 4 years. And he said, "I owe you an apology. I owe you an apology for thinking you were a jerk for 4 years and really not liking you. And now I realize that was my loss, not yours." Thank you, Rich Dixon and the McQuaid class of 1979 for the lifelong lesson on humility. Finally, there's this typical suburban family. Mom, dad, brood of kids, kids all play sports. Mom and dad never really did, but if you add up, collectively, their game experience, you get about 2,000 plus football, basketball, baseball, softball, track. You get the picture, games. And if you listen to these parents talk to these kids at the dinner table, holiday get-togethers, crammed into a station wagon on long vacations, what's really interesting is what you'll never hear. You will never hear the criticism of a coach. Never a mention of a referee for the reason for a loss. No blame put on a teammate or another player. There was, of course, a genuine distaste for everything Aquinas. But here it is. The conversations about all those games never degrades into blame or negativity. So thank you, Mom and Dad, and my 6 siblings, Sue, Chuck, Greg, Chris, yes, I'm reading, Marita, Steve, for giving me a wonderful, optimistic perspective to attack this game we call life. And my belief is that I'm standing in front of you because my playing career was a direct reflection of what was modeled for me as I grew up here. There were lots of people back then who helped to yank more out of me than I ever thought possible. And I'm proud if I resulted in a good model of their handiwork. It was through their help and motivation that I can happily say I never gave McQuaid anything less than my all. Every possession, every at-bat, every play, even in practice. You see, I started off in sports, like most, I believe, thinking I was going to be the best, and I never was. But along the way, and at the height of it all, I accomplished my best. And that's a very, very special gift. And this means that any kid can stand the chance of this very same Hall of Fame life experience to be their best when they're surrounded by people who help them focus on the right things, and those right things become the reasons for playing the game. So my takeaway, with apologies to Houseman and that famous poem, is you do eventually have to leave on the field what happens on the field, but you never have to let what happens in here and in here leave you. To all of you here this evening, if you've ever had a hand in anyone's development through sports, I applaud you. And if you had a hand in mine, and many of you out there have, I sincerely thank you. And I'm going to end this by stealing what I think was the greatest acceptance speech I ever heard, and it was uttered in that gym right over there in 1977, when Peter Riddell accepted the McQuaid Jesuit Knight of the Year Award. I accept this, but I don't need this to show how much I love McQuaid. God bless you.